Do you think not doing homework can, make you as a teacher have the perception that this youth has bad behavior, not doing
Not
homework?
behavior, attitude.
Attitude, yes, attitude.
Yes, I think homework is paramount to any child's life who is in school. The most important reason why you are in school is obviously to learn and to be able to carry out any instructions from the teachers. Now, if you go home and you don't do the homework you're asked to do and you're going back the following day, what impression are you giving to the teacher?
Okay.
It just boils down to not being cared for at home, not extending what you've been taught at school back while you're at home. So like Choma rightly said, it's also to create the environment, enabling environment at home, so the children are able to do their homework.
Okay. You defined what the attitudes are, yes? You gave examples of not doing your homework, and if a youth or a child has not, taken the responsibility to do homework, then that can put them in trouble, and that can make anyone perceive them as people with bad attitude. And you came up, Queen Choma, with the point that, well, there are some enabling environments that can help you to do your homework, and that sometimes some youths, maybe because they haven't got, they are not exposed to such environment where they can effectively do good homework. And if someone has not been exposed to enabling environment to do homework, why do we have to say that they have bad attitude?
Into what are the other factors that could be causing young people to not be successful or not to want to work. You can't just judge somebody and just assume that they don't want to learn, they've got bad attitude, they're lazy. You have to try and figure out, put yourself in their shoes and try and think, okay, what's going on? Try to discover if there's, and even talking to them as well, actually discussing with them, finding out, is there anything I can do to help you? Right. Do you need assistance? Is there anything else you can do? What about the library? Giving suggestions is the key, really.
Okay.
The attitude towards homework, not the enabling environment. The point I wanted to put across was perceiving homework as not being important. So yes, some of them may do it, whether the environment is enabling yes or no, but they just scribble off something, I've done my homework. That is the kind of attitude I'm thinking of.
Maybe because they don't know the long term.
Looking at homework as not so important. So I could just scribble off anything and go and meet my friends or scribble off. That's the kind of thing I was looking at.
I think we are looking at it in that will attach bad attitude to an adult or a child of about maybe 15 years in secondary school who now is able to discern from good and bad, who knows the importance of homework. But a child in primary school, being a child, you would not say it's a bad attitude because obviously he or she wants to play. Now, if you don't push him or her to do homework, he wouldn't do it, and it's not a bad attitude until you make him grow up into that attitude.
Actually,
I think that sometimes some young people don't actually want to go to university. They don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, or they don't want to be anything to do with that. So they think to themselves, well, why should I study this? I'm not interested. I don't care about this. Maybe it's like a short-term vision. They can only see what they're doing now. It's like, I'm 15 years old, I'm studying geography, I don't like geography anyway, so why should I do it? Whereas if teachers and academias will actually help them to see the long term, okay, you don't like this topic, however you want to keep your options open. If you get this qualification, you may have the opportunity to go to college.
Okay.
Whereas if you don't have an opportunity, if you just close yourself off and say, I'm not doing it, you fail everything. When you get to that time of wanting to go to university and college, you now have nothing. You don't have any kind of the qualifications to take along. So it's just about maybe that kind of teaching, not just about the actual course, but how they can use the course in the future.
Good. What you're saying now, you're saying that, yes, there are instances where young people definitely refuse to do homework, and some of them embrace homework. Again, I think it all depends on the environment, as you're saying. The environment can trigger off, what you as a child or a youth can do, and sometimes it may not. For example, if you have a child, in fact, I think I'm going to say something, but I don't want to say it, but I know you've covered it. Something to do with blaming the parents. I can see that you are indirectly blaming parents in terms of attitudes, towards anything a child does.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a child whom you know has gone to school, if you as a parent have to, can check your child's work, find out what they have done today. Not necessarily every blame going on the teachers. My students sometimes, they come back, even the adults, you are talking about the younger one, adults are even worse. Some adults don't even do their homework. And they come, they say, oh yes, I slept, I overslept, I was watching telly last night. It's embarrassing
Exactly.
for an adult to tell you that they're watching telly last night and therefore they couldn't do their homework. So who is to be blamed? Yeah, even adults, parents should supervise them. You should check what your daughter or your child is doing. And again, that will bring us to another topic, knowing your child. Because if you start from the beginning to groom up your child to doing homework, providing the enabling environment, the child will be able to do it. So the attitudes, to mold attitudes, has to be part of parents', yes, responsibility. And as well as teachers. Yes, I agree that the teachers, but again, we have limited power. Teachers actually have limited powers in children because of the law, which is another thing we're going to add to what we're discussing. Gertrude, you're dying to say something. What do you want to say?
Education system is all about education in terms of just theory, this geography, history, science. What about life skills? You know, what's your dream? What's your goal? What's your aspiration? Where do you see yourself? Who do you want to be? What's your talents? What's your creativity? When young people, if they can learn from a young age who they are, what they want to do, what they can be, their potential, the things that we start to learn as we grow older through Christianity or faith, through these motivational books, why aren't young people learning the same things?
But again, isn't it to do with the careers as well? The careers advice. The careers advice, they have a lot to play as well in terms of directing children on what they are supposed to do. Isn't that the case? And Maud, what do you think?
Careers advice.
Children. Okay.
The careers advice job, the teacher's job, part of the teacher's job, all boils down to parental, which we are going to talk about later.
So we're saying that it starts from the,
what is your dreams and aspirations and what they have and the path that they
talents.
want to go.
Yes.
I just need to say that I don't think that the education system we have allows it, because the national curriculum has no space for that. And however, there is Dr. Elaine Wilmot, who is a specialist on personalized learning. That is what schools need. She actually tried it out in a school in North London and it worked. As a matter of fact, when she started, a lot of parents wanted to withdraw their children because they said, well, this is outside of the national curriculum. I don't want my child to go there. But when they saw it working and they saw how well it worked, her school became a beacon school. So I know that we do need personalized learning styles.
As soon as I walk into a classroom, the first thing I tell my students, I tell them why they're there. All right. So I feel that the teacher, it depends on individual. You don't really need that personalized, environment to be able to do this. You can talk to your students. You can tell them exactly what you feel, as long as it's not against the law. You're grooming them because it's part of it. I personally, when I walk into a classroom, because some of them, you walk in, you see them, they're sitting down there, they think it's a playing environment, it's an environment to socialize. Learning environment is not. You have come there for academic reasons. You have come there to achieve, and therefore you have to do that. So I personally, when I walk into a classroom, I tell them why they're there. I tell them that you do know why you're here. Some will say yes, some will say no. They will pretend, to wind you. And, well, whether you know or not, the reason you're here is to study. And to study, it's not just about studying, it's also about presenting yourself, purporting yourself in the right manner, the way you behave, the way people perceive you. So you tell them all of these little things that will help them to grow. Because when for example, when I was in secondary school in Africa, they were, how, I don't know if you witnessed more, I'm sure you did, they were very strict with us. And for me, I use it up until today. I can't smack anybody, but I would tell them exactly how I was taught. I used my own upbringing in Africa, where even the senior students, if you mess about, they punish you, they get you to pin, and I discuss this with my students. I know they don't do it here, but it does. And I tell them that this is why we are able to come into the classroom to also deliver. Because if we did not listen to our elders, we didn't listen to our parents, we did not listen to our senior, we can't do it. We couldn't do it. So I think that every teacher should, because for you to be a teacher means you have gone through the learning process, you have gone through training, and you should be able to impact that knowledge to others. And that's why I say sometimes, yes, even though parents may not spend time, I'm not saying that parents should not really do their best, but some parents are not educated and so on. So sometimes the teachers, they have to help as well. When a child comes to the classroom, talk to them, tell them what they have to do, make them realize that they are in a learning environment and they have to learn effectively. Viewers, you've heard what we're saying. We want you to stay tuned. We're coming back. Thank you.